Talking with Mike Flynn of American Chartered Bank in suburban Chicago. Mike, you've been a CEBI member for a long time, is that right?
It has to be probably 8 or 9 years.
Wow, that's a long time. What's kept you coming back?
Honestly, it's been the people. The friends that I've met along the way have been instrumental in my business success. So I've built some very good relationships, and that's probably the main reason.
Really? The meetings themselves, what do you take away from those meetings?
You know, it's something different every time. You know, it's an opportunity to you know, just kind of get out of your head to things that you can't necessarily say to your colleagues or partners or other people that are kind of invested in your business. That people that just have a caring approach to just trying to help you answer those questions. So that's generally the case. Every meeting I've gone to, you always come away with one or two things that you hadn't thought of, or thought of but didn't know how to take advantage of, and so things of that nature.
What's the difference in the kind of advice you get from these other chief executives and business owners versus perhaps other advisors you might have?
Well, you definitely feel like it's an unvarnished opinion, that there's no hidden agenda. They're not trying to win your business. They're just sharing with you their perspective, and they're candid. I've been within my local group for a number of years now, so there's really a trusting relationship. So they just tell me as they see it, and they can kind of compare how I've operated the last several years, and they know whether I'm being consistent and true to myself, or if I'm, off the track that I said I was trying to be on.
Okay. It occurs to me that there really aren't any other bankers in your group, at least here in the Chicago area. Wouldn't you rather be around people in your own industry?
Well, I mean, no, honestly, I mean, you can drink your own bathwater all day long, and you're not necessarily going to get different perspective. And I mean, not that I look at my board members as opportunities as customers, but they represent the marketplace I sell to. So when I ask them a question, I generally get feedback, and it helps me prepare when I'm looking for additional business. I could talk to another banker all day long. I have plenty of partners within my organization to get feedback from them, and it's a slanted opinion. Where here I get kind of an unbiased opinion.
Can you think of some ways specifically that Chief Executive Boards has made a difference in your business?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, it's the opportunity to stop, think about my business, from the 50,000-foot level as well as right in the ground, and it's almost like if I didn't have the Chief Executive Boards, I wouldn't stop and do that. I wouldn't take the time to think about my business strategically. I wouldn't stop to think about, am I really doing what I set out to do? So it's almost like a forced test that without it you wouldn't do it.
So you count it as time working on your business instead of in your business.
Absolutely, absolutely.
And that's been an important thing to you.
It's been critical. I mean, in addition to my business has succeeded as a result of it, my personal stress level has gone down dramatically, because you just have an opportunity to get off your chest things that you carry around as naturally as you do in business.
On occasion, members bring up something outside their business, something in their personal life or family life. Do you see people finding some value in Chief Executive Boards from that perspective as well?
Well, I've done it myself personally. We all have, more to our lives than just our business. And, there's been times when I've come to Chief Executive Boards where actually my business was the least thing on my mind that day or for a while. And, these people I consider personal friends, I was able to tell them what was happening, and, they were either there just to listen or just to give me some feedback to kind of redirect me to get myself back on track.
I sometimes have people who are considering Chief Executive Boards who say they don't have the time for this. How would you answer a person like that if you were talking to him directly?
I understand why they say that. I've said it to myself, because we are so overbooked and over committed. But honestly, if you really want to be good at anything, you got to stop, you got to pause, you got to reflect, and this is a great environment to do that. And you know, today we had a meeting, and we have some guys that are trying to grow, trying to start new business ventures, trying to grow their existing businesses, trying to decide whether they're going to go in a new direction. And just being a part of that discussion drives ideas for your business to help you achieve the goals you're looking for.
Yeah. By many people's standards, chief executive boards is not a big expense. By other people's standards, it's an amount of money they have to stop and think about. What would you say about the money side of chief executive boards? Is the return on investment there?
Well, you know, honestly, you know, everybody. I mean, the reason why we're entrepreneurs is because we're looking to create wealth for our family. So we're looking at everything that we do and trying to justify, is this an expense or is it an investment? And I know it's an old cliche, but working on your business as opposed to in your business is truly an investment. And it's it's not, I'm not going to say that's not cheap, but it's also not expensive. You compare it to what it costs to hire a consultant to do the same things that these 5 to 10 people you have around the table that have a vast amount of experience. So I think you really need to focus on what you get from it as opposed to what it costs you.
So you visualize it more of as an investment rather than an expense.
I wouldn't be here if I viewed it as a cost.
And you're sure you're getting a return on that?
Yeah, I mean, every single time, no. There are times when I don't have a particular issue and maybe I don't feel like I got anything that time, but in the long run, absolutely. I don't think I'd have anywhere near the success I've had in my business if it wasn't for my affiliation with CEB.
Besides local meetings, we also have the national summits, a 2-day affair where you get contact with dozens of other business owners. What would you say is the difference in a summit versus a local board meeting? You know,
there's a lot of similarities, but the biggest differences are you just get different perspectives from different parts of the country. And in the United States, I mean, Illinois is different in Indiana, different in Ohio. I mean, there's similarities, but you just get a different perspective. You get people that, for example, we were just out in one in Ohio, and they were coming out. They believed they were coming out of a recession, where we felt like we were just going into recession. So it was an opportunity to talk to them about how deep was it, how bad was it, what did you do to overcome that. It just helped us think a little bit more strategically about how to deal with that in our local market.
If there was something you could say, some advice you could give, or some affirmation you could give to somebody thinking about joining chief executive boards, what would you tell that person?
Well, if there's a reason why you're thinking about it, there's probably a little guy inside you that's telling you need some objective help in thinking through your business issues. And I think you should act on it. You should at least give it a try. I think you'll enjoy it. Give it time. You may go to your first meeting, you may like, wow, this is the greatest thing that ever happened to you. Or you might say, well, maybe this is not for me. I think you need to give it a few sessions, and I think in the long run you'll see that it's really worth it. And everybody in our group has been in it a long time, and that says something to the value of it. And
you'd say probably somebody ought to attend a summit in the course of that evaluation period as well.
Yeah, I think a summit. The one nice thing about the summit I forgot to mention is that it forces you to get out of your backyard, and you're less apt to answer cell phones, jump on email when you're in a different state, away from your employees, your managers. The nighttime activities, just an opportunity to relax and get to know people and have a little bit of fun, which you really don't get to do in the local markets because you tend to come and go just through one day.
Thank you, Mike.